cut, drilled, and threaded this hole here, and it is 3/4 of an inch from here and 3/8 of an inch in. So I'm going to drill a hole in this one to match. So I need a 190 thou drill bit for clearance for that bolt. Let me go get that. So it's going to be 375 thou in. And 750 thou down. Now, what I'm going to do is, there it is, let's see. Now, this other one I have slotted to put at the other end. I think maybe what I'll do is I'll change tripods here. That's better. Oh, let's just sit you like this. So I have this temporarily bolted on. This other one will be bolted to this bolt here, and it's slotted so I can adjust it in and out. So I'm going to go and get my wrenches and undo that. So this one here, I need a threaded hole halfway in, which is 640 thou, and 750 thou down. So I'm going to put this in the vise. See if that'll work. This is my clearance drill. I'll need that later. So let's tighten this. Three quarters of an inch. $750 thou. And 640 for the middle. $840, excuse me. That's right, it is. I think there we go. Let's take this over and I will tap it. If this was a more substantial piece, I would use lubrication, but it's just aluminum, so it's not that big of a deal. You just have to make sure you're straight up and down, parallel to it, perpendicular. There. Now I'm done with this. Let's go and install this. Now, pretty dark there. What I need to do is find the center of the hole. So I can do it by just measuring the end and moving in, which I think is what I'm going to do. So the mark is even with the outside. I will move in 840 thou and mill a slot. This one is slotted so I can dial indicate it in and out. And I want this one to be slotted as well, so I can dial indicate it up and down. So that'll give me my two adjustments. So let's just undo this one. And so there's my mark. The edge is right there, so I'll move in 840 thou from the edge of the mark into there, and 750 down will be the center of the hole. Let's just put it like this here. And let me see if I can find so what I want to do is locate from the outside edge of that mark in 840 thou and down 750 thou from the top. So first thing I'm going to have to do is move this out a little bit. There. Put that down. I'll move you over here. So let's move down, turn my DRO on. There, it's touching, so I'm going to go up. Turn that off. I'm going to set this to 0. Now this drill bit is 160 thou. So I need 80 thou for half the diameter. So have that set to 0, take the backlash out. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 80 thou, not 800. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 thou should put me on center of my drill is on the edge. Now I want to locate off the outside of this hole. So the way I'm going to do that, let's just put a square here to the outside. Square to the outside. I'm gonna put this as 0 because I'm going to have to move it. Now I want to move in 750 thou, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. That's my 750 thou. I'm just going to move this in by hand until it touches. There. Set my 0. Now I'm going to move that way 840 thou. 840 thou. So I should be able to drill that hole. Now that's just a, that was for my threaded hole. I want to slot this now. Let's see what I have. Well, that would do it. Okay, I will go and find a collet for that and change. Okay, so let's put a little slot in this. That should be good. So I have marked and transferred punch where I want my holes, so I'm going to put two I'll brace this out. Take our end mill out. I'm going to thread and tap these. Drill and tap. So let's drill this one. There we go. Okay, I'm going to set up for the next operation, which is... Okay, I'm just going to quickly tap these two holes. I'm not using any kind of fluid or anything. This is just 1/8 inch aluminum. The tap can go through that pretty easy. If it was stainless or something, I would use tapping fluid. Hold it perpendicular. There we go. What I am going to do, I have this mounted. Let's just back you out here. Oh, that's probably pretty good. I have this mounted. What I'm going to do is dial indicate this in this direction, and then tighten that. Once I have that dial indicated, I'll dial indicate it horizontally. So let's do this one. Okay. For the light. So it has to come up. Move this. Nope. Right there is 0. I'm going to snug that up. I'm going to have to move you. There, it's on 0. I'm going to snug them up, and then I'm going to run the dial indicator again. Well, I'll do that right now, actually. Let's put a little light on it. Oh, it's not at 0. It's at 90. Okay, so let's move it to 0. Just to come. There's 0. So let's back it up. See if I can zoom you in. we're going to move it as far back as we can, re-zero it, and keep doing this till we have a steady zero. Okay, so there. There. That's pretty steady. I've moved it about 6 inches and it's basically not moving, so let's have a look. Yeah, it's staying pretty good. So I think we'll call that okay. Let's move it up here. Zoom out. So now what we're going to do, we've got it dial indicated this way. So now we're going to put the dial indicator along the top and dial indicate it horizontally. To the limit of our travel, set a 0. We're going to go up to the other limit of our travel, and then we'll bring it to 0. I keep getting in the light, nothing to do about it. So we'll loosen this. I think I'm going to have to do that a few times. Yeah. Set that. So I'm going to do this. No sense you guys watch. That's actually pretty good right there. That really doesn't matter that much because I'm going to install the DRO and then level the DRO. So let's move this. Get the DRO. Now the DRO, actually I'm going to put the bracket on it first. And I'm going to have to manufacture a bracket, I guess. Let's have a look. So in this case, I want the bracket to come out to the front about 1.5 inches. The supplied bracket is only meant to go to the back, which is pretty typical of the way these guys engineer stuff, guys that never have to put it together. These other ones, again, can't be attached. They're all meant to be attached to the back, which is not how anybody installs these things. We call that well engineered. It's engineered by a guy that's never used anything. So I think what I'm going to do is take this one, straighten it, put a bend on it so that it's like that. And I can have it coming out the bottom. So we have to straighten this out. Almost perfectly straight. So if I attach this to the back of my DRO, so I want my mounting bracket to come frontwards of the DRO on the bottom, so I'm going to attach it like this. So we'll install this now with our 2 screws, and we'll dial indicator along the bottom, and the back should be fine because it's floating between these 2 points. Let's get rid of these. I think that'll work fine. I'm going to come out from here, and then I'll drop an angle down to catch this. Okay, so I'm going to set up my dial indicator for that. Hang on. So now what I'm going to do is remove this plate and start making my connection from here to here. There. Wipe that off. I think if I put one hole here and then one yes, I'll do it to match. One hole here, one hole here, and I'll cut it about 1 inch past, right about there. Then I'll make a bracket to go down from here. Probably can't see that. I'll make a bracket to go down from here. I'm going to start wearing my GoPro on my head. Okay. So what we need to do is, I want to attach this. This is the bar that came from there. I'm going to replace it with this. So it's too narrow to drill a hole and put a socket and attach this, so I'm going to split these, put a slot in them, and use a screwdriver. So first I have to drill a through hole and then a clearance hole for the head. So I'll do that. So now what I'm going to have to do is put a slit in these two bolts so that I can use a screwdriver to turn them in, because it's just holding this in. They will each go in like that. So I've drilled a hole on the back for the bolt to go in, and a bigger hole for clearance. So now I'm going to go do that. I'm going to do it here so that the grinding goes that way. And I'm just going to eye that up in the middle, right there. Could speed it up. I think that's okay. That's good. Okay, I have it dial indicated. I'll get you around here. See if you can see that. So there, I have it dial indicated straight. Now all I have to do is attach this bottom plate to this cross piece. Okay, just a quick look at the DRO. So what I've done is I've dropped this angle iron down to the reader head, and there it is. And in the next video I'll make a stand for the displays.